Guess who? It's Mr. Harry. So, here we go. Spelling list for week 6. Number 1, haphazard. Haphazard way of storing socks can make it hard to find a matching pair. You know, maybe your way of organizing things is a bit haphazard, a bit all over the place, kind of random with no real logic to it. That's what haphazard means. And sometimes you might go into a library and you might think that the books are stored in a haphazard way, but that's not true. They have logic to them and a very clear method, so it's not haphazard in the library. Next one, health. I think you know this one. Your health is very important. Just be looking at the, or be paying attention to the EAL spelling. Next one, hesitated. Make sure you say the Z sound, hesitated, when you are saying it. So if you hesitate, you pause a little bit and you're not really sure about something. Next one, hilarious. The hilarious teacher made everyone laugh. Sadly, Mr. Harry is not a very hilarious person. His jokes are not even slightly funny, but that doesn't matter. Mr. Harry doesn't really care. It's not about being funny, it's about making people groan. Next one, history. I think you know that. A good way to remember it is his story. History is the story of God. It's his story. Honest. Remember, it's a silent H, not honest, but honest. Sometimes to remember the spelling, I kind of, in my mind, I say the silent letters. So I might say, the honest person, in my mind, of course, not out loud. And that just reminds me of how to spell it. Okay, next one, hopefully. Look at the spelling, double L-Y. A lot of people will spell hopefully with one L on the end. Hopefully you will remember how to spell this word. Next one, humorous. Again, humorous is similar to hilarious, but humorous is funny, but hilarious is very, very funny. So humorous means just a little bit funny. Maybe quite a lot funny, but not as funny as hilarious. Okay, so humorous, spelling O-U and O-U. Humorous. American spelling of humor is different. Sorry, Ella, you are now in Australia. Australia, mate. Have to learn to spell it like Aussies. Next one, hallucinate. Hallucinate, sometimes people who take drugs, they hallucinate. They see things that aren't there. Maybe people who have a high fever can also hallucinate. You know, maybe when you were a little kid and you had a high fever, you hallucinated that you saw a pink unicorn. I don't know, maybe you still see pink unicorns. I hope not. Next one, hesitance. Now, hesitate, I think, you know, but hesitance as a noun is a good word to learn. Your hesitance made me wonder if you really knew the answer. In other words, because you hesitated, I thought you didn't know the answer, but as a noun, it's a good word to know and use. Next one, humanitarian. Really good word. A humanitarian group, such as the Red Cross, really help people who are in trouble. So humanitarian means it's an adjective to describe an organization or a group that helps other people. A humanitarian organization. So, you know, things like World Vision is a humanitarian organization. Next one, habitual. If you do things out of habit all the time, it's habitual for you. So as an adjective, habitual exercises, habitual things that you do. What are some habitual things that you might do? Brush your teeth every day? I hope so. So things that you do normally. Haven. Now don't confuse this word with heaven. Haven is like a very safe place. And so a wildlife sanctuary can be a haven for animals, a place where people can't shoot them, people can't hunt them, so it's a haven. Now some people might say their bedroom is a haven. In other words, you go to your bedroom and you feel safe. You just close the door and it's my little haven, my little refuge, my retreat. Okay, next one, addiction. If you really feel you have to do something. Addiction to video games. Some of you just felt a bit guilty. Addiction to Coke. Addiction to fast food. Addiction to sugar. All those things can be very addictive, where you just feel like you can't stop. Next one, assassination. Ooh, that's a bad word. It's not a bad word, but it's a scary word, because assassination means if you assassinate someone, it's like a king being murdered by someone, or a president. So assassination is always the murder of a very important, famous person, usually a political leader. The next one, arch enemy. The arch enemy of Batman is the Joker. So we don't really talk about arch enemy when we're talking about like normal life. You wouldn't say that, my arch enemy is this boy in year 8, unless of course you're trying to be overly dramatic. And some of you might be tempted to be overly dramatic. But we won't name any names, shall we? Arch, A-R-C-H, and then enemy. Next one, bedazzled. Great word. If you really impress somebody, you bedazzle them with your incredible wit. Wit means like your funny things that you say. You might bedazzle someone with your amazing stories. You might bedazzle them with your beautiful makeup and jewelry. Something that just causes people to go, wow, that is amazing. Next one, develop. If you develop something, you make it grow, you make it better. And so you can develop an idea by really thinking about it and coming up with lots of extra supporting details. So often we'll say you have an idea and you develop it into an essay. You have an idea and you develop it into a good argument. Next one, discuss. Often in an essay, we might ask you to discuss the theme of the book. That means you argue for and against. You include a range of arguments. You don't just say one side. Discuss is kind of like two people talking about something, so you have different viewpoints. So whenever you see the word discuss something, you're meant to have several different viewpoints. Don't forget the double S. And organize with an S. Sorry, Ella, I keep picking on you. I'm not really picking on you. I'm just pointing out that Americans will spell it with a Z or a Z, and Australians and English spell it with an S. Organize. Maybe you organize all of your socks into color groups. Maybe you organize your locker beautifully, so you have all of your pens and pencils and everything in one place, and all your books on one side and your folders on the other side. Actually, I suspect most of you don't organize your locker very well, but you should. Organize your homework well. So there we go. 20 words to learn for next week. Even though we are doing the orals next week, I still do plan to have the spelling test on Thursday next week, so make sure you study. Alright, no jokes today, sorry. Next time, bye.